Hello everybody and welcome aboard! However, you should know that there is only room for one captain on the bridge, as in this video we'll learn how to play the solo mode of Starship Captains. There are times when a captain must stand alone, so let's cut straight to the chase with our own solo adventure. In the solo game, you play alongside a non-player ship figure who goes by the name of Captain Shadow, and you'll both go forth to defend, negotiate and explore. We've made another video explaining the full rules of the multiplayer game, which you can watch somewhere here. It's good to watch that first if you don't know the basic rules of the game, as in this video we'll be focusing mostly on the differences of the solo mode. And we're ready to start with the setup, of course, and you start like you normally would for a two-player game setup of Starship Captains. We've got all the different tokens and figures as usual, and we make sure to use the board of the game on this side for 1 to 3 players. And you also prepare the player setup as normal. Up to here, this is pretty much the standard setup. Now you place the tech board on the solo mode side of it, and you deal randomly alpha cards from the alpha and beta deck to the slots, and you place 2 omega tech cards instead of 3. You take the solo game cards, they are the ones with the white backs, and as you see, each faction has only one possible event card, which you place on the corresponding faction track. The remaining white cards are the action cards and the passengers. There are 7 solo action cards. You take 1 action card of each type and shuffle them face down to make a 4-card action deck. You place it in the designated slot on the tech board, and then you shuffle the remaining 3 cards and deal them face down to rounds 2, 3 and 4 of the round counting track. And while you're preparing for departure, Fleet Headquarters informs you that you will be taking along a passenger. You choose 1 passenger card from the passenger deck. For your first game, we recommend Teddy. For later solo games, you can pick one of the other passengers at random, or you can pick one not at all at random. It's really up to you. Whichever passenger you get, you'll keep that passenger for the duration of the game. Each passenger specifies certain cards to remove from the tech deck and place them on the tin can event. For Teddy, you place 3 random alpha cards. Generally, there is a strong relationship between these techs, the passenger's effects, and the bonus or penalty the passenger will give your score at the end of the game, so take a good look at them when you're thinking about your game's strategy. And you're all set up for your solo adventure. Oh yeah, and there's Captain Shadow, but don't worry about him yet. Captain Shadow does not need a tech slot board or a ship board. Just place a second ship figure on the home station and we'll explain the rest later. So in the solo Starship Captains, you are always the starting player. You and Captain Shadow will be taking turns, and Captain Shadow's actions will be specified by the action deck we set up earlier. After each of your turns, you draw the top action card and place it above the central tech board. Cards go above the tech board spaces in order from left to right. So just like in the normal multiplayer game, your available actions are to activate a room, or to complete a mission, or to pass. You can check out what you can do in detail in the full rules video starting from the 6:30 time mark. For this video, we're going to see what kind of actions Captain Shadow can take by showing an example of a round between you and Captain Shadow. So you start first, so it's your turn, and you decide to activate the red room, so you can move to a planet that has a mission on it so that you're able to complete it on your next turn. It's now Captain Shadow's turn to play, so you draw the first action card. This card allows Captain Shadow to jump to your current location. You may also imagine him just showing up and saying, "I've got your buck, buddy." And then he also takes a tech from the tech board, as this symbol indicates, and so you take the one that is just below this action card and you discard it. You replace it with a new one from the tech board. Now it's your turn again, and you choose to spend your turn completing the mission on your planet. You use a yellow and a blue ensign to do it. You earn the rewards of both the mission lines, since the colors of the ensigns match those of the missions, and you earn the mission card. Captain Shadow takes his turn now, so you draw another action card and place it next to the previous one. With this action card, Captain Shadow attempts to move to a mission 1 move away from his ship. When crossing paths with a pirate, he just moves through, and it doesn't have any effect on the pirate. If there are multiple missions he could move to, Captain Shadow will move to the one you choose. Yep, Captain Shadow is a very nice and cooperative fella. Captain Shadow will never move to your planet. That mission is all yours. If Captain Shadow has no mission to move to, this action does not have an effect. Not even if there is a mission at Captain Shadow's current planet. If there is a mission for him to move to, you move his ship there and remove that mission from the board. Then deal a new mission just as you would if you had completed the mission yourself. For your next turn, you're left only with a cadet, so you choose to spend 1 medal to train the cadet and change it to a blue ensign. So you choose to spend your turn activating the blue room and you take 1 of the tech cards. Then it's Captain Shadow's turn again, so we flip over the next action card. With this one, Captain Shadow removes a pirate ship from the board. The ship must be on a route leading from Captain Shadow's current location. If there are no such pirates, nothing happens. If there are multiple possibilities, you choose. Captain Shadow will be like, that one? Of course, whatever is best for our fleet. Now it looks like you have run out of crew members and you have no pair of artifacts you could use instead, so you decide to pass. Captain Shadow takes his last action card. This last action card shows that your passenger takes an action and Captain Shadow takes a break. Each passenger, except for Teddy, has an action they take when this card is drawn from the action deck. If you pass, Captain Shadow will keep playing until all of the action cards have been drawn, and vice versa. If Captain Shadow's deck runs out before you pass, you may finish the round by taking several turns in a row. Once both you and Captain Shadow have passed, then it's time for the usual end of round things. And in addition to the 4-card action deck we started with, you'll add to the deck 1 new action card for the round without looking at it. So round 2 will have 5 action cards, round 3 will have 6, and round 4 will use them all. In every round, the action cards are dealt like this, always starting with the leftmost space. After the 4th round, the game ends and Captain Shadow's work is done, so you can probably catch him riding off into the sunset just before the scoring part starts. It's just you and you add up your points normally, together with your passenger's scoring adjustment, and then you check the epilogue list in the rulebook to find out what your score really means. Captain Shadow's actions can cross yours, or you can use them to your benefit, but the real challenge in the solo game comes in fact from the passengers and how you can play around their abilities and scoring modifiers. Each of them requires a different play style, so feel free to try them all and see with which one you can achieve the highest score. And that was how to play Starship Captains solo. If you have any questions about the rules, let us know in the comments below and we'll get Captain Shadow to answer them. Thank you everybody for watching and we'll see you in the next one.